this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. My guest this evening is Pat Bourne, Executive Director for Sarah Incorporated. Pat, welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, Pete. Thank you very much. I'm so glad to be back.
Well, thanks for coming back. It's been a while since we've seen each other.
It has. It's been far too long.
Exactly.
I always enjoy being here.
Well, thanks for coming down. So tell us a little bit about Pat Bourne and what exactly she does as the Executive Director for Sarah Incorporated.
As many of your viewers and listeners might know, Sarah Inc. provides services to over 500 children and adults with differing abilities.
Okay.
And we've been doing that for over 60 years now. In fact, we're coming up on our 60th anniversary, so there'll be many celebrations in 2017. Wow. So when you think about it, 3 families got together 60 years ago because there were no services for their children. And they decided to get together, each contributed $2 to send out a mailing to contact other people. And they said, I bet there are other people who have the same issues we do. And when you think about it, 60 years ago, when we're talking about no education,
right,
not just programs, but no mandated education. So these folks got together, and together they advocated, got laws changed, created services, started with a volunteer for kids as volunteers for kids in the basement of a church.
Wow.
And from that, we've now grown to serving well over 500 children and adults. So it's really remarkable what's happened over these 60 years.
Now, do you guys just reach the shoreline, or do you reach all over the state? What's your coverage area?
Well, Sarah Inc., we provide services. We have a very large birth to 3 program, early intervention birth to 3 program.
Okay.
And that covers greater New Haven, across the shoreline, and well into eastern Connecticut. Altogether, with our birth to 3 programs, we're serving over 39 towns.
Wow.
Our adult services are concentrated in the greater New Haven area and across the shoreline, and then here in Westbrook, Lower Middlesex County.
Okay. And now, as far as, can we maybe talk a little bit about the different services that you guys offer, and maybe do a little bit of a description of each service?
Oh, sure. I'd be glad to. So our Kids Steps Birth to 3 program is exactly that. So it serves infants and toddlers from birth until 3 years old.
Okay.
That's a mandated program, meaning that's mandated by the federal government. So if, as a family has a child and is really concerned about either a developmental delay, maybe the child is not progressing as quickly as they think they should be, or there's a diagnosis of some kind that would suggest that a medical diagnosis would suggest a delay, then the family would contact Birth to 3. Okay. And in Birth to 3, services are provided in the family home, and a team of therapists. There are physical therapists, occupational therapists, social workers, speech therapists, special ed teachers. A multidisciplinary team of professionals will work with the family, do an assessment, evaluate what that child needs, and then work with the family to help develop the treatments and implement treatments that will help that child to progress.
Okay. And now, as far as funding that you guys run on, obviously you're a funded program.
Yes.
How do you get the money that you need to support your services?
That's a great question, Pete, because this is really critical now, especially as we have just come off an election.
Right, exactly.
Our funding, we contract with the state of Connecticut. So as I said, our Birth to 3 program is mandated, meaning that the state has to provide it. The money filters, channels through the federal government, education services, and a variety of different pools of money, but filters down to the state, and then we contract with the state for those services. The same with our adult services. The big difference with adult services that it's so critical for people to know is that those services aren't mandated. Right. So what I mean is that, again, you have a child from the ages of 0, birth to 3, and you have a problem, a concern, a question, and you call and ask for help, then the state has to fund that service to provide that help. At the age of 3, that child will go to the school system, obviously, and we know that there's mandated education. Right. And funding then comes through the school, and from for special education from the age of 3 to the age of 21.
Okay.
That is the responsibility of the school system. So the school will work with the family and that student to help prepare for life beyond school. At the age of 21, all the services, all the funding for those services in terms of mandated services, required services, ends. So we equate it to sort of falling off a cliff, because there is no guarantee that services are going to be available after the age of 21 for someone who needs a day program or someone needs a place to live and needs supervision. We've seen with the budget crisis in the state that services to agencies like SARA and other human service agencies have been cut. Either our funding is held frozen, so there's no increase, but as we all know, all our expenses go up, right. Or it's actually been cut. And we are very concerned. We know that there's been a lot of recent news about the state budget crisis, and we're really concerned about what that will mean for services in the future.
Now, how closely do you work with your local legislators and local representatives in the area that cover SARA?
Yeah, well, you know, our mission is to enhance skills and enrich lives, and we do that through support, right. through service, through education, and advocacy. And so advocacy for us, which we mean just exactly what we're doing here today, right. is informing the public, informing people, one, about the things that are available to them, two, about the benefits of having services and supports for people with differing abilities to help them be contributing members of their community. Okay. And especially working with our legislators and our funders to help them understand how important it is to fund these vital services. So we're very fortunate. Both we've talked before, the Westbrook community has just embraced SARA right. and what we do. The first selectman, the town government has been absolutely wonderful. And our legislative representatives in our service areas across the shoreline through Westbrook have been great champions for services for people with differing abilities and other special needs. But it's becoming more and more difficult for everyone as the budget shrinks and they're looking to cut. And we're hoping that they can see the value of our services and other similar services to help prevent those cuts from occurring.
Now, from what I understand, just by doing some research on tonight's show, that you guys recently moved not long ago?
Moved here to Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, we used to be in Guilford? Yes, actually,
that was, we have a building here, actually right across from Water's Edge.
Right across from where we're taping
right now. Across from our studios here. And we have a building there where we've had a day program for the last several years. Okay. And we did some renovations and modifications so that we were able to move our administrative offices here. So very nice. We were located in Guilford for many years, and while we still have services across the area, our administrative offices are here now in Westbrook.
Do you like being in the town of Westbrook?
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, and certainly for our staff, of our employees who haven't been familiar with the shoreline, just being able to come here and enjoy, the local shops, the restaurants, and the scenery in this area has been is certainly a perk that we can offer to people to come here.
Now, last time that I knew, and last time I checked, that you guys also were involved with a recycling can redemption program.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
I'm sure many of your viewers and listeners know about SARA Recycles, and that is just to kind of rethink this. We started SARA Recycles several years ago, and it was started as just a creative program to help our supported workers. They collect donated bottles and cans. Yep. Those are the refundable bottles and cans that have the nickel deposit on them. Sure. And they collect donated bottles and cans, and then they would process them and collect the nickel. So that every nickel from that donation actually went into a paycheck for SARA-supported workers. with the help of the local community, again, the First Selectman Bishop and the town governments and our other partners across our area, just embrace this because it's a win-win. You know, we're saving the environment, keeping bottles and cans out of the landfill, and helping to put people to work. So it's a win-win, and we are so fortunate that this has been well embraced. So you'll see that we have these recycling bins, collection bins located across the shoreline. We have one in Log Cabin, we have them at the transfer stations and local fields, and wherever people can go, easily go to deposit their bottles and cans. And our workers then collect them and take them for processing. So Sarah Recycles itself, with the donations, went from a very small, like people would hand us sort of little plastic bags filled with their redeemable bottles and cans. Today, Pete, I think you'd be astonished to know that we collect and process well over 1 million units a year of donated recyclable bottles and cans.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
remember,
goodness.
That's a nickel. It's not $1 million. It's a nickel. But again, every one of those nickels goes to pay Sarah-supported workers who are doing the work.
Wow.
And what we're really proud of, it's equal work, you know, it's equal pay for equal work. So people are making good money at that.
Now, for the recycling program, are you guys busy year-round, or does it sort of drop off in the winter because it's cold? It's definitely cyclical,
right, exactly. You know, we see a large increase, primarily water bottles really are one of the major things that get redeemed. So we do see, you know, it's cyclical. Yeah. It'll taper off now, start up again around the holidays, and then in the spring. But a natural extension of Sarah Recycles is actually the Sarah Redemption Center. So we were taking those bottles and cans that were donated, and we were taking them to a redemption center in East Haven. Yep. And that center closed. And we were really, found ourselves really with a major dilemma. Here we had large volume. When you see those big plastic bags, you know, heavy-duty garbage bags filled with bottles and cans, you're not taking them to your local grocery store.
No, you're not, because you're going to be standing there all day.
Exactly. So it left us with a serious dilemma, and after much deliberation, weighing the pros and cons, we opened the Sarah Redemption Center. So we opened that Redemption Center under the Sarah name. That is a business open to the general public. It's at 690 Foxton Road in East Haven. All right. Open to the general public. So the public can come in. We have 30 state-of-the-art high-tech
machines.
Machines. They're called reverse vending machines.
Oh, okay.
So the public can come in, redeem their bottles and cans, and get their nickel. So they can get, you know, their own nickel. What we get is a handling fee for processing that. And we're licensed with the Department of Environmental Protection. And so as a business that can redeem those, and we get a handling fee.
Very nice.
So again, a super win-win. You can donate to Sarah through Sarah Recycles. You can process your bottles and cans yourself at the Sarah Redemption Center, get your nickel, and still help Sarah. But another third really exciting opportunity that comes with that is to think about using the Sarah Redemption Center for your own fundraising.
You know what? We're going to talk about that when we come back.
All right.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Thank you.
We adopted Christopher when he was about 8 years old.
How are you doing today?
He's really an outstanding young man.
Presto.
Christopher just fits. He's part of our family.
So what are you going to do this weekend?
Goodwill has given him the opportunity to blossom.
We're very proud of him. We can't imagine our life without him.
Every day, the people in our community rally in support of United Way as we strive together to make a big impact to change lives in Middlesex County. From our main streets to our institutions, From our neighborhoods to our town halls and our classrooms, we're working with our partners to create a stronger community. It's an inspiring effort, and we invite you to join us. Volunteer, donate, live united.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Pat Bourne from Sarah Incorporated. Pat, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we were talking a little bit before the break about the redemption program and the recycling program. I was wondering if maybe we can pick up on that
Sure.
a little bit more.
Well, as I was saying, Pete, I mean, when our focus on recycling as an innovative program was really kind of threefold now. So you can donate to Sarah Recycles, donate your bottles and cans. You can take your bottles and cans to the Sarah Redemption Center and process them and get your nickel if you want your nickel, and still help Sarah because we get a handling fee from that.
Okay.
But the third thing that is a really exciting venture or opportunity is to think about using the Sarah Redemption Center for other fundraising events. So for example, if you have a Boy Scout troop or your church group or your social club wants to do a fundraiser for yourself, to raise money for yourself. You know, a lot of times you'll see like Boy Scout troops do a big bottle and can drive, right? And they fill up a tractor trailer.
Right.
Well, again, they may not want to have to go and stand and individually process, whether it's at a grocery store or wherever, even coming to the Redemption Center and stand there and do it themselves. So we'll work with groups on these large fundraising activities, and that we process and then charge a very small handling fee for processing. So that's a win-win. So that nonprofit or social club or fundraising activity, that group is still getting the money for their fundraisers and still helping Sarah. Right. So again, what we find is with the whole recycling and redemption, it's an incredible win-win. It's saving the environment, putting people to work, raising money, contributing to the local economy. And the fact that we opened a business that had closed in a shopping center in East Haven, which adds just to the vibrancy of that community as well. It's a win-win for everybody, and we're really proud and excited about it.
Now, is the Redemption Center open 7 days a week?
It's open Monday through Saturday. It opens at 9 to 5, and there's we have a website for the Redemption Center as well as for Sarah Inc.
And speaking of websites, what types of information can people find on your website?
Oh, everything. Who we are, what we do, what's going on, all the different activities, different fundraising events and calendars. We have a schedule of open houses. People can come and visit us anytime, but we also have a schedule of open houses for our different programs, and can find anything and everything they need to know about us on the website.
And what is the website?
It's www.sarah-inc, that's inc.org.
Okay. And
you can also like us on Facebook. There's another good way of getting up-to-date information. We're always posting things on Facebook.
I was going to say, and that's Sarah Incorporated?
Yes, it's the same thing, Sarah Incorporated. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So if I didn't know who Pat Bourne was and say, hey, are you looking for volunteers to be involved or help out with the Sarah organization, what would you tell me? Because there's a lot of different nonprofits out there, and if I wanted to be involved, if I was to choose your organization, what would you tell me why?
Well, I think the thing that we're most proud of in terms of not only our long history, but the variety of services. So what we say is we're enhancing skills and enriching lives across generations. Okay. So there's opportunities to help with in terms of the infrastructure of providing services to children and infants, to adults and communities across the state. We connect with the schools in terms of different sports activities and recreational activities. I think if anybody wants to be involved in helping to change the life of a person with differing ability or any kind of special need, I think they can find a great deal of satisfaction by contacting us. And you know, it's also, Pete, I think the other thing is, what we say is we're always looking for people who are willing to donate time, talent, and treasure. Okay. So sometimes, you know, it's time. So people who have time to be able to help, because again, state funding doesn't cover all the things that we need to do. Right. But it's also talents, because it's so important for a nonprofit to have a vibrant and active board of directors, and board of directors are volunteers. Yeah. So we're always looking for people who are willing to help behind the scenes or as volunteers. And networking is critical. Exactly what we're doing tonight, talking about what's going on, helping people to understand. Sarah Employment, when we talk about Sarah Recycles helps put people to work. Right. We are so proud of our long-term relationship with all the business partners in the community that we have who employ Sarah workers in retail, manufacturing, service. But it's tough to get a job, and we're always looking to make that connection of people who have a business or are looking for a good, qualified, motivated workforce. I look to Sarah, because we have really, really highly motivated workers who want to earn a paycheck. Right. I think we could all remember what it was like when we got our first paycheck. Oh, yeah. Everybody deserves that opportunity. Definitely. And no one should count us out, because we can do anything under the right circumstances. Definitely not. Now, as far as let's talk about the adult services that you guys provide for adults. Yeah, well, we're supporting over close to 250 adults in services, again, across our service area, Greater New Haven, across the shoreline, and through Lower Middlesex County. Okay. Primarily, Sarah, as I was just saying, Sarah Employment, where we're looking, we help to make connections for the people we support, to make connections with businesses and employers in the community. So right now, well over 100 Sarah-supported workers are working in the community, earning a paycheck, getting minimum wage, which is another thing that we're very proud of, equal pay for equal work. So our workers are doing the job and doing it well and earning a very good paycheck as a result. Now, as far as you said that you guys offer services for adults and kids. Now, as far as, does everybody go to work every day, or do you have some people that take part in your day program, or? Right. Well, that's very important. When we say across generations, when we talk about literally from birth, right. Well, we have people now who we are serving who are retired and well into their 80s. And really? I used to be able to say that, I guess I'm proud to say, that we had a person in our program who turned 94, and she decided as it got colder that she no longer wanted to come to her program every day because she was 94 and was ready to retire. But we serve people well into their 80s. Wow. So yes, thank you for asking that, because we have a variety of community experience and enrichment opportunities available for people who can't work, or who for where work is not necessarily their primary motivation. Another critical service for young adults is a transition from school to work. So when we were talking about special education is available until age 21, right. But it is so critical for young high school students in transition from that age of about 16, 18 to 21 to start preparing for life beyond school. And so we work closely with the school systems to help develop those transition services, to help those students get real work experience, to be part of the community, to be part of the day program and learn enriching activities, attend different kinds of classes, and just get to experience, be prepared for life beyond school. And I'm assuming you, as an executive director, you're out in the field every once in a while. Oh, yes, but I'm showing up, saying hello. Definitely. I call it, management by walking around. But we are so fortunate to have just an incredible group of dedicated staff, hardworking, passionate about what they do. And I'm just proud to be part of the organization. They make me look good because of what they do.
How long have you been with the organization?
Just over 10 years now.
Really?
So yeah, time goes by, you know, time flies when
Have
you're
you been
having fun.
executive director all those 10 years or not?
Yes, I was.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I was fortunate to be hired as the executive director in 2006 and have watched and worked with the teams to help us grow and thrive and continue to serve people in the tradition of the people who started the organization 60 years ago.
Wow. Now, what types of fundraisers do you guys do throughout the year?
Fundraising is critical, obviously, in terms of bridging the gap between state funding. We do an annual gala, our biggest fundraising event in May. It's always held in the first Thursday of May.
Okay.
And the theme this year will be the 60th anniversary of the agency. We do a golf tournament in August and have a variety of events throughout the year. But people can donate anytime and not necessarily have to attend
wait
an
for
event.
an event.
Exactly. Yeah.
And your gala is pretty well attended every year?
Oh, yeah, we're very fortunate. We have a loyal base. We also run a thrift shop in Brantford. The Sarah's Cupboard has been there for years in Brantford.
Really?
So the community is great about donating.
Let's talk about that, because we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, well,
let's talk about the cupboard.
Yeah, cleaning out your closet or got all that extra stuff around that you don't need. If you take it to Sarah's Cupboard on Meadow Street in Brantford, they put it to good use. And or if you're looking for some treasures that you'd be surprised, and we're very fortunate in terms of what people are willing to donate. And there's always a customer for one of the items that someone else is giving up. And again, all the proceeds go to help support the Sarah Agency.
Really, very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. Well, we got a little bit more time, but before we say goodnight, I want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Oh, I love it, Pete. Anytime. Love to talk with you. I really appreciate what you do for our community and for promoting Sarah and all the other agencies and really contributing to the vibrant life of this community.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Pat.
you.
On behalf of Pat Bourne, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.